Hey guys, if you just saw a good looking laptop by HP and you're mesmerized by it and you're in search of a laptop, but looking at your budget, you still can't afford in reality, but you determine whatever way one day you will get it. But you're just an average consumer and don't know what's going on with HP right now, and you wanted to know what's up with their product line. Well, look no further. Here I'm going to tell you what I know and recommend for you to focus on which laptop to buy. Here is the hierarchy of the HP laptop line, also displays the highest spec prices. From the top, we have the Spectre series, super rich, dope, expensive lineup. Both Spectre comes in either thin or the 2-in-1 version. And the second level is the Envy laptop series. Fairly expensive but has a premium build to say it's worth it, and design wise is a bang for the buck. Later I will show you guys why. And lastly, the third one, the bottom, is the Pavilion laptop series. Used to be the top line but now have been replaced by the Envy and the Spectre. Here I compiled for productivity series. You guys can pause and take a look at the names. And I checked this out, the laptops. The specs are not up to date, by the way. They still use 7th gen processors and old graphic cards. Here I compiled series for business purpose. Mostly all these series are not up to date and freaking expensive, guys. So moving on to HP laptop gaming, the names is Omen laptops, range from 4,000 to 8,900 ringgit. Freaking expensive. It uses a old processor, 7th generation, and this one differs from 4 GB RAM to 16, and GTX graphic card of 1050 to 1070. So here in Malaysia, sales are mostly focused on these 3 series for laptops, which is the Spectre, Envy, and the Pavilion. So the first I noticed about the new HP laptop lineup that stands out among the other laptops, not the Spectre, looking at an affordable, not giving eyeballs of mine, is the HP Envy laptop series. The gorgeous micro edge display tells me, hey, this looks like a Dell XPS 13, which I know is super expensive and I can't afford one, and here HP have done it for the average consumer like me. And equipped with audio by Bang & Olufsen. To be honest, I never heard of this brand before because I'm that average, guys, but this brand sounds promising and stylish. The laptop also comes with this famous, distinctive lifted hinge, USB-C ports, and HP fingerprint. Nice one, HP. So the dimensions for the thickness of this laptop is 13.95mm and weighs in 1.2 kilograms. So comparing with the HP Spectre laptop, the HP Spectre is thinner by 3mm, lighter by 100 grams. Comparing it with the HP Spectre X360, which is a 2-in-1, the thickness is the same and it's a bit heavier than the Envy, so props to Envy. So comparing it with the Dell is thinner by 2mm, Envy is heavier than the Dell and weighs the same. The HP Envy laptop comes in 2 colors, the silk gold and natural silver. In Malaysia, they only give the full HD, they don't sell the Ultra HD 4K, unfortunately. This laptop also support dual display. So moving on to processors, it uses an 8th gen processor. This promises a 40% improvement on performance and multitasking. So the 8th gen comes in 2 i7 processors and 2 i5 processors. You can see they both have the difference between i5 and i7 is that the base clock is 1.8 and 1.6, a little difference but not too much, and both of them spots in with a 4-core, a quad-core and 8-thread. Comparing to the i7 is a dual-core. For 8th generation it uses a quad-core. So comparing the price between the i5 A350 and A250 is the same price, but the base frequency is different, as you can see from here. In Malaysia, it uses only this i7 8550U and i5 8250U. So moving on to graphics, there's 2 types of graphics that are sold with this Envy laptop. It could be either Intel UHD graphics, Nvidia. Intel recently upgraded from HD to UHD graphics. They changed the name when they moved to 8th gen. So some laptops nowadays come equipped with the new GeForce MX 150 because it replaces the old 1940 MX. So with the MX 150 there is a 2.5 increase for photo editing, and there is 4 times more in video editing. So the MX 150 uses the most advanced GPU architecture. They use a FinFET, I don't know what's that, and performance over watt has 3 times more than compared to 940. So comparison between the three graphic cards, MX 150 performs higher than the rest. UHD 620 is pretty bad compared to 940 MX. So for 3D Mark Fire Strike, compared with the dedicated GDX 1050 with the MX 150, it performs half of it. So with the MX 150 at lower settings, it can play a good game of GTA 5 at 77 frames per second, which is above 60, which is good enough. And for lower settings for Tomb Raider, it can perform at 40 frames per second for MX 150. So let's compare the prices for the HP Envy laptops sold in Malaysia. Before I start, I just want to make it clear that all these HP laptops, Envy laptop, equipped with the 8GB of RAM from the i5 to the i7. So let's begin with the HP Envy, the lowest spec, which is the i5. Comes in with 256GB and an old graphics at 620. This is 4,000 ringgit. So if you were to upgrade the graphic card to MX 150, the same specs as the i5 and 256GB, there's a 500 ringgit difference. Okay, so moving on to the i7 package with the 256GB with an old graphics, there's a 1,000 ringgit difference, which means they just changed the processor from i5 to i7 for 1,000 ringgit, which is a whole lot of money if you want to get the i7. But we all know that we don't want to go with the Intel 620 graphics, right? So moving on to the next one. So looking here at the i7 8550U, 256 and 620 graphics card, which is the previous one I mentioned just now at 5,000 ringgit. There is a change in graphics to MX 150. There is only a 250 ringgit difference if you guys are planning to go with the upgraded graphics card, if you want to stick with the i7 price tag. So here is a list of HP Envy laptops that runs with i7 and MX 150 graphics card. You can see here there is a bump increase of the storage from 256 to 512. There's a 250 ringgit difference if you guys plan to do so. And if you guys want to have the touchscreen, there is an increase of 200 ringgit in price tag. So the highest spec for HP Envy laptop is 5,699 ringgit. For me, I recommend you guys to take the highest spec because later I will show you guys why. But if you guys on the affordable side, I really recommend you guys to take in the second option from here, which is a 4,500 ringgit, because it runs with the MX 150. Don't get a laptop that runs with the Intel UHD 620 because it's pretty slow. So get with the Nvidia card MX 150, just additional 500 ringgit. So moving on to HP Spectre, you can see here HP Spectre prices a little bit higher compared to the Envy. You see here there is i5 256GB and using an old graphics card, priced at 5,900 ringgit, which is higher than the highest spec for the HP Envy, which is pretty expensive because if you want to compare this with the highest spec for Envy, you get lesser for the price tag. So looking into the HP Spectre top tier, which is priced at 6,800 ringgit, it uses a old graphics card priced at 6,800 ringgit. So let's take a HP Envy that has a similar specs, that has the highest HP Spectre. There is a 1,200 ringgit difference. The rest are the same, you get the same shit, you know, with great graphic cards. We don't want 620, we want the MX 150. So moving on with the highest storage for the HP Spectre, which is from 256 to 512. Exactly the same specs as the HP Envy. Just for a stupid additional 256GB, you're paying 1,800 ringgit, guys, which is kind of whack, man. Just because the HP Spectre is a bit thinner, you want to waste money at 1,800 ringgit for the same things in the HP laptop with old graphics card, guys. So moving on to HP Spectre X360, which is a 2-in-1 laptop. You can see here it uses a Intel UHD 620 throughout the range, which is, we don't want that as well, and the price tag is above 5699. Then what's the point of buying it, right? Just because you want to have that 2-in-1 thing, which is not worth it. You might as well get a lower end laptop to have a 2-in-1 thing if you're going to go high with the money here. So for the sake of the argument, let us compare of the highest spec of the HP Envy with the HP Spectre X360 2-in-1. The price itself has an 800 ringgit difference for a 2-in-1 feature, but with weak graphics, but the rest are the same. 512GB storage and 8GB of RAM, so on. They have the same processor. So let's compare with the famous Dell XPS 13 2-in-1 with the HP Spectre X360 2-in-1. I would not compare with the Envy yet, but just for the sake of this, it's a 2-in-1 thing, let's compare the prices, okay? So Dell XPS ports in with a 7th generation CPU, which is an older one, and a really old graphics card at 615, not even 620. So priced at 8,000 ringgit. Compared with the XP Spectre with an increase, just a graphic card of 620, and the rest are the same. This is priced at 6,500 ringgit, which is a 1,500 ringgit difference, guys, just for you to change from 615 to 620. But they all have the same design in terms of edge display and so on. So moving on to a normal XPS 13 compared to the highest spec for NV13. Let's take a look for the Dell. It uses an 8th generation, okay, and it's i7, but it has a 256GB storage. It's priced at 6,600 ringgit, right? This is freaking expensive if you compare it to the HP Envy. So there's a 900 ringgit difference for a smaller storage, weak graphics, because Dell XPS unfortunately uses the Intel UHD 620 compared to the HP Envy uses MX150. So the best choice of what goes to the HP Envy 13 i7, 512GB storage, and with the dedicated GeForce MX150 graphics card. So it does look expensive, but comparing to other micro edge display laptops, such mentioned like just now the Spectre and also the Dell XPS, the HP Envy is bang for the buck, guys. It uses all the latest specs, the design is good, the thinness and the thickness, it just differs between 2mm, and the weight is just 100 grams plus minus. And if you guys are planning to buy in installment, I recommend you guys to take Harvey Norman. It provides a 36 months installment, so with 0 interest, you're paying the HP laptop the highest spec for around 150 ringgit, 30 cents a month.